Hello and welcome to this guitar lesson. Today I want to show you the melody part of my Tears of the Dragon arrangement, sung by Bruce Dickinson. I arranged it for two guitars, so for the other one I already did a lesson for the other guitar part. So this is the lead part, and throughout most of the song it's not very difficult, except the solo, Roy Z's guitar solo that I tried to copy on nylon string guitar, and that's one of the most difficult solos I've ever done actually. So it's a nice challenge. But let's start with the melody, the first melody of the first verse. The intro is played by the first guitar, so for this you should watch the other video lesson of guitar 1. This is guitar 2. So first guitar 1 plays this part a couple of times, and then you start with the melody on this one. There are of course many ways to play this. You should watch the score to see exactly how I play the notes, but of course you can play it different than I do. But the most important thing for me in this melody is that you create a nice tone in your right hand. So I very often see people pulling the strings when they play a melody like that and creating a horrible sound. You don't need to do that. You need to push the string almost inside of the guitar and then release. And of course the more close you play to this part of the guitar, the more warm it will sound. So depending on what kind of sound you want, you could go Alright, so that melody happens actually twice exactly the same. Then we go to the next part where I'm playing the 6th harmony that Bruce is singing as well. So there's a bit of a stretch. Then the next part, I would call it the pre-chorus. So I'm starting with the melody, everything on the E string here, 12th fret. And then that's all very easy, but then you could also play it like that. It's the same notes. But I like to do the slide here. And then the chorus. So while the other guitar is mostly playing chords, this one's playing the melody, but if you would just only play the melody of the vocal, you would go like would be a little bit boring, not very challenging, so I added a lot of notes. So actually I'm playing chords and melody at the same time, even though it's arranged for two guitars. So we start here with the middle finger on the 7th fret of the B string and slide to, which is an E minor chord. So Then we slide the pinky finger up to the 11th fret to get that F sharp there. So then C major. Again, you slide the pinky finger this time to the 12th fret. So then we go to a G chord. This is kind of a variation on D. And then back to the 3rd fret. That's the same as we did before. And then we go to, so it's kind of a power chord of C, but so that would be C major 6, I believe. Then back to that G. And then a harmony on the main melody. C. So the whole chorus. It's kind of difficult because there's a lot of bar chords in the very high positions, so it's difficult to, well, first of all, not get a very painful hand, and also to not make it sound out of tune, because especially at some guitars it's difficult to keep these high positions in tune. I'm lucky with this one, actually. Then the next, after this chorus, you get another verse. This time I play the verse an octave lower, so instead of, I'm playing the same rhythm, same melody, but then the harmony. And I'm playing it now all with my thumb, as you can see, but it's also very well to play it like that. Maybe it sounds even better, actually. So that's it. It's the same melody but an octave lower. I'm sure if you just look at the score, it's quite easy to learn this. Then there's another pre-chorus, but it's the same as the one we already had. So few very small variations that you will see in the score. Then another chorus. So this chorus ends with a D chord, and after that D chord I build up towards that pretty crazy guitar solo. So D, that's all open D string, then that's an A played on the sixth string, then what I'm doing here is I'm kind of imitating playing with a pick, but I'm not, because of course it's very difficult to switch between the pick and your fingers that quick. So I'm just doing this, and slightly muting the strings to have this cool effect. It's a little bit more metal like that. So slowly. The next part, I'm still playing with the imaginary pig. So it's a pentatonic scale there. So actually the whole solo is in A minor, in the key of A minor. I'm using a lot of scales that I've already showed you in the King of the Strings guitar lesson. So if you're a member of King of the Strings, some things will look familiar here, and you could also probably improvise a solo using mostly the A minor scale as well as the pentatonic scale. So this is a pentatonic scale of A, and then so what's difficult about this? Probably this part. It's more of an electric guitar lick actually. So I'll try to do it very slowly. So this is a slide. And then then we go to a little hammer on and pull off part. Slowly. And then this is really an A minor scale. Again, it's a mixture of A minor and the A pentatonic. And then that's again pull off. And then we go to the next part, all on the A string. So that's so everything is pull off, pull off, pull off, pull off, pull off. Here I'm doing a bend, but it doesn't work well on every guitar, so you should try if it works, otherwise you just play the note. But I'm doing for a dramatic effect, and then kind of an harmonic minor scale there. So and I like to play this one in a very Spanish flamenco way, so that means the hand towards this direction instead of there, because if you play it here it would sound classical. Now I can make it sound flamenco. Alright, then we go to the next part, which is a lot of hammers again, and pull-offs as well. So we're going to do this very quickly. It reminds of the Thunderstruck guitar part that I showed you before actually. So now we do this. So it's all A minor, and the 8th fret here with the pinky finger, pull off, 5, pull off, 8, pull off. And the right hand you can choose if you actually play everything alternating, or if you play everything with the same finger, which works very well too. Like this. So whatever suits you best. Then, so that's, it's kind of the same technique, but with more strings involved, so it's more difficult. And then perhaps the most difficult part of the solo is this scale. It's really difficult. So I'll play it very slowly. The only thing you can do is practice it very slowly and keep going faster. So and then then we have a building up part towards the climax of the solo. I'm missing a fret on this guitar. So you could either hope you have more frets, or you could bend till you have the high C, or you could go an octave lower. So that's the end of the real solo. Then we get into this kind of reggae part. That's what the other guitar is doing. So you're going to keep soloing a little bit here, and I improvised something and I tried to write it down in the tabs as precise as possible. So you could either copy my improvisation or you could make your own. But it's all still all A minor and pentatonic. However, I added some strange notes that will sound a little bit jazzy, which does not always mean they are mistakes. So I end the big solo with this. So that's about my improvisation over this reggae part. I'll show you some parts of it that are important. I think the beginning, again you could also play, but I'm doing not special. Then here we have some of those jazzy notes. Then a little harmonic scale. Then pull-offs. So then I mute the strings, but this time play with the thumb. And then here we go to a slow version of the pre-chorus again, because we're building up to the final big chorus of the song. So I'm playing this. Same as the other one, but then. So I play that in octaves and with a tremolo involved. I have a special tremolo guitar lesson on YouTube, so if you don't know how to play a tremolo yet, just check out my tremolo lesson, where I'll show you some special exercises. It's a very difficult technique that takes a long time to master. So then again, that sounds very familiar because it's the same as the previous pre-choruses. But then instead of I added a nice little scale, played in triplets. So to go to the final chorus, we have this cool scale starting on E on the 7th fret of the A string. So that's. And then. Again, slowly. Then you have this chorus twice, and then you arrive at the end of the song where the main guitar, guitar 1 does